Okay, guys, I'm not sure when I hit start, something jumped around here, but that's all right. I'm not too concerned with that. Okay, so wow, a lot of trades, a lot of action. So I'm going to show you those, but let's just get up. This is the first line of 8-1. Well, several things that went on. Notice the big drawdown here. I had commented that $1.44 was going to be paid by Bido. So if you own any, it pays on 8/8, the same day that YieldMax does. But they always declare earlier. They typically declare the last day of the month. Occasionally, I think it's been on the first. So they declared, unlike YieldMax, after the market closes. And then that's declaration day, but you never have an opportunity to buy it. So you had to buy it hoping it's going to be a good dividend. So they came out with $1.44, which is down a little bit. I think it was $1.76. It's been above $1.50 for about 3 months, but it's still a very good yield. And they dropped the $1.44. Well, then they dropped some more, right? Because the $1.44 was projecting down to 21.25 because they had closed on 7/31 at 22.69. So that makes sense. If you pull that piece out, we both did around the same. I didn't really try to do that math. You know, you'd have to do 21.25 minus 20.61 to see how much further. So that's 39 and 25. It's 64. And you'd have to do, let's see, equals 0.64 divided by 21.25. Yeah, so they were only down around 3 additional percent besides their drop. Their drop was about 6. So not a big deal. Now, let me just show you this, and then there's no way you're going to comprehend all of it, right? It's just too many plays, but basically, when you look at YBIT on 8-1, they're intraday trades. So this, you tell when you see something repeated 3 times, a buy, sell short, and a sell short. So they went out to the existing 28 synthetic. They just rolled to that a few days ago. And since 28 is way above 2061, they can buy a call for 2 cents and sell a put for $7.49. Now, this still expires on 8/16. So I think by then, if we're not already higher, they'll choose something like a 25, maybe a 26. I think they're coming down nearer to what Bido is trading at. And that makes more sense. But this helped put some cash back in their pocket, and I'll show you that. So then they wrote the same quantity, but they wrote it 21, which I kind of question out to 809. Wow, that's a whopping 1.89% out of the money. I don't know what they're thinking with that. I mean, that's 6 trading days when they put it on. And then if that wasn't enough, they put another 11,925. Now, if they see something that others don't see, but again, they're not normally market gurus or attempting to time the market, which I always get upset, on ones where I see an impulse wave starting and they're writing it close in the money. I'm like, don't they see what's going on? And then I know what the standard answer would be. Bruce, we write a script, right? We go out 2 to 3. They say 5 to 15. I don't think I've ever seen a 15. Rarely are they even 5. Look at this. 1.89, 4.32. And these are written with 6 trading days. Okay. Now there are some 5, 7. I think I've seen a 10%. It all depends on how high the yield is, but this has a decent yield on it. Okay, so let's go back And then after that, all of these are just additional calls. Remember, they had taken, this last one is buried here. This 24, no way was going to be there, right? Because Bido dropped. It wouldn't have been there even if Bido didn't have an ex-dividend date. But they were able to buy all those back. So this quantity is coming from here. This quantity is coming from the 475,000 shares that were bought in. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. So let me walk you through them. Let's go look at the synthetic. So they sold 5,465. Remember my 2 cents and 749? So that netted them 4,083,000. So that took us from where we had written some before, 24,000 on 730, and we collected 16 million. Now we added 4 more million. So we've got a 20 million. So that helps us when we get to payouts. All right, so let's continue. So that's the only synthetic. Everything else now is taking positions off. They had already taken these off. What? Oh man, I caused something to come. I think key stick, the mouse sticks. Wow, that's a long way. All right. So they had already taken, the only one they took off today was this 1 cent. So negligible, right? You don't even notice it. And it's funny, it's almost $24,000. Uh, but you don't really notice it, 596 and 572. So no problem. And now we get into the calls that were written today, money we collected. So we wrote the 54.65. Again, I don't like the 21 when we're trading at 20.61. I mean, we could be over 21 today. So let's follow it out. We collected 185,000. Then they wrote the big amount right after they closed this out. And at least they laddered on that. They went 21 and 21 and a half. But if you ask me, they probably would have been a minimum of 21 and a half and then did a 22. They got laddering. They just got the wrong strike prices. Okay. So they got 429,262. So we went before this series of having 170,000 running loss, okay, to a 729,000 gain. And you see here the share counts, right? We jumped from 360. Look at this. We had been 3.8, 3.85. We went down to 3.6, stayed at 3.6. Boom, 475,000 to like 13%. All right, let's go look at holdings, guys. So here we are. We got a lot of data. 13.19% buy into the fund. And I get it. People are saying, if I didn't own any, I'd probably be buying it right now. I'm still thinking of cashing out soon on my YBIT and just buying Bido because Bido tracks and doesn't get capped. But I want to see if they continue their payouts. So right, but at $20, it's attractive. I think it's got more upside than it's got downside, and I think YBIT can gain some, but I'll wait and I'll collect the dividend and I'll think about what I want to do there. Just being, honest. I'm not negative on any of the things. I'm just a little tired of YBIT being on top of Bido and the way it's playing out. But it may not be the right thing. So I may also set another month and watch. Not saying exactly what I'll do at the moment. I'm not giving up completely, but I don't like the derivative on a derivative. It doesn't seem to be working that well. The only cure would be 100,000 in BTC, driving Bido up and driving YBIT, but then I go through the capping process. It appears I don't have the capping with Bido, and I can get the same yield or close to the same yield. Obviously, I'm not getting the capping. The only thing I have is every time I get the money taken out, but I get that in YBIT also. Okay, guys. Or you could just go buy a 2x, right? But for my income fund, I'm considering going to Bido. All right. So you hear that, YieldMax? Okay. 22,099. So we added to these to 565. And so you can see we're well under 28. So we get nice cash, but we got a liability. We got a 22 million liability. Okay. But we were, and here with writing these on Thursday, it moved up a little afterwards. We're a little behind. That's not a big deal. But I tell you what is a big deal. They're way too close, in my opinion. So this just might be the kicker that gets me out of YBIT. We shall see. Okay. I think they're going to pay well, and I'll get to that here. So 1554 is where we closed, saying 1547 is fair value. So we did gain money, okay, through this. Here's our weeklies. Whoops, I got one more weekly to show you. My bad on that. We've got 13,010 at 2150. But guys, this is terrible. I mean, it's just too close. Okay. Remember, every time Bido gets down here, guys, it got the halfway to the channel, and now it's back. That's one, two, three knocks on the door. We're gonna weaken that door if we don't turn around. I have a feeling we will. Maybe it's the overhang of the U.S. selling some of the coins. I don't know. Bido does Bido. Or I'm sorry, BTC does. I got 64,935 with a little less than 3 hours before the market opens. So that is up 1,100 points, 1.86. So we're kind of going in the right direction. Let's see. Bido is showing it's going to open 40 cents up. So that's positive too. But you know what? What's it going to open at? 2102, 2103. Well, we wrote out to 89 at 21. Not too smart in my opinion on that. Okay, guys, let's go to payouts. All right, here we are. This took us, we had a $6 or $7 loss, and we came over here and this thing came down a huge amount. And we went up here, 64. Let me make sure I'm capturing. Yep, I'm capturing everything. Okay. So synthetic is now, what did I say? 22. That I'm not too worried about. I think they're going to pay us $1. They're going to go out depending on where our price is, right? Because we are now trading at 1554. So I think they're going to target a 79 to 80% yield. So I got 104 right now. I'll update it after today. And I'll do my projection for the weekend. May do it tonight, but probably on Saturday for all the single stock funds. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. I wish I had better news. Again, we're going to get paid a nice yield, but I don't like NAV reduction to this degree. Yeah, I may be getting an 80% yield, but I have to constantly be calculating that. I don't want a 50 or 60% in the course of a year and get 80. That's 18, 20%. I think I can do better. Okay. In total return in other income funds. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you. Again, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for fun and entertainment. Have a great Friday and weekend. Thanks, guys. Bye.